Hey everyone, Admiral Prince Eric here and welcome back to my channel. Today is the last day of update 12.11, so we're gonna get started for the patch notes of the update 13.0. The first one comes up ahead in this year of 2024 for World of Warships for 8 years. So let's get started to it, but before I get started, so please sure to subscribe and click the bell on the notification icon. So let's get started to it. The update 30.0 is the new American aircraft carriers. We'll be ready on to it for early access. Now, the update 30.0, new American aircraft carriers. The maintenance period is on tomorrow about 3 hours time on the midnight from 3 a.m. until 6 a.m. in the morning. So we already declared the World of Warships premium account while on off recording. The update 13.0 delivers the following: the early access to US aircraft carriers, Sestri Ponente dockyard continues, bounty hunt event, display ship parameters in battle, armory, ranked battles, brawls, YouTube memberships, HoloLive collaboration, content additions and changes, and other changes. Alright. So, the early access to US aircraft carriers, the most awaited comeback ahead since the update 0.8.0. The early access to the upcoming US aircraft carrier line begins in update 30.0. 3 ships being added are Independence, Yorktown, and Essex. In addition to these 3 historical vessels, we're adding camouflages for Yorktown and Essex plus a commemorative flag to the game. Remember about prior to the update 0.8.0 in 2019 that happened about Independence and Essex were gone. So that became an even tier aircraft carriers. So Essex meanwhile stepped aside as a tier 10 that was formerly a tier 9. Now, the features are, these aircraft carriers feature distinctive gameplay that's unique among the existing ships of this type. They only have access to 1 standard squadron, but are supplemented with 2 tactical squadrons consisting of tank and dive bomber aircraft. Starting from tier 8, these tactical squadrons get access to the new smoke curtain generator consumable, so you can use them to provide cover for teammates in need. So this is basically what exactly demonstrations coming from last year was concealed maneuvers. Like the example was the Lexington and the top tier Essex. You know, this is gonna be the smoke curtain generator consumable when it comes dropped to the planes and immediately target on destination point when supporting the allies whenever they need. Now, there comes on the part the US aircraft carriers event pass will be starts on tomorrow about 3 a.m. until in February 8 at the same time with the release the update 13.1. Now, update 30.0 brings an event pass with 20 levels that you can progress through by completing a series of daily and weekly missions. The Tier 6 Independence stands as the most prized reward in the first progression line, and she's accompanied by the US aircraft carrier's commemorative flag, the Freedom Permanent Camouflage for Baltimore, a Flags Premium Container, a Wings of Freedom Container, and other valuable rewards. Wings of Freedom containers can also be obtained as rewards for completing extra levels after you have completed the initial 20th level. But you can unlock the second progression line for doubloons, much like the first line. This one also comprises a total 20 levels, but where it stands out is in the rewards, including Yorktown, a bonus package for Yorktown, Commander Statue of Liberty with 6 skill points and an individual voiceover, the Freedom Permanent Camouflage for Des Moines, and other valuable rewards. American tokens are the reward for completing extra levels after you complete the initial 20. So I know about the Freedom Permanent Camouflage for Des Moines that was obtained last year from Distant Voyages containers. Now, the American tokens will be held to earn to acquire during early access in update 30.0 starts tomorrow about 4 a.m. It ends in February 29 in 3 a.m. time on leap year. You can exchange your American tokens for assets with a 10 skill point commander and a port slot. permanent camouflages for your town and assets, Wings of Freedom premium containers, and credits. Obtain them either via random bundles for doubloons or by completing extra levels of the second progression line of the US Aircraft Carriers Event Pass. Besides American tokens, the random bundles also hold special and rare economic bonuses of all types: coal, free XP, elite commander XP, credits, and American battleship Ruhud Island, which can only be obtained via this route. The option to purchase the new battleship will become available in the future updates. So, what is Ruhud Island? So, Ruhud Island is basically the focal point between the Florida and Georgia, which means her main armament comes from a New Mexico class battleship's 356mm gun in a 3 quadruple gun turrets, two on the bow and one on the aft. However, the ship's appearance, it looks like a reminiscent of Georgia, which means it is described as a battle cruiser. Secondary armament is usually the same thing like from Georgia, but her consumables are widely used. The damage control party, the engine boost comes from Georgia, and the surveillance radar consumable comes from Missouri. All in all together, which can fire simultaneously both HE shells and AP shells, despite of its caliber, but not the higher caliber guns. The rule Highland will be available for a random bundles exchange for doubloons, but I advise to say, please do not gamble out. You have to wait for the Ruhud Islands announcement to be released sometime in the future. Now, the Sestri Ponente dockyard continues since the update 12.11 starts. Now, the construction of cruiser, Italian large cruiser Michelangelo continues at the Sestri Ponente dockyard in update 30.0. Now, comes to the spicy part. On the third week of update 30.0, players will be able to complete combat missions and advance through dockyard construction phases to obtain the main reward, the Michelangelo herself. Now, the construction process comprises 32 phases, 27 of which can be progressed through by completing dockyard combat mission groups. But you can also complete shipbuilding pages by spending 1,750 doubloons per page and purchasing starter packs. But you already know that happened when it gone back at the start of this update 12.11. The 10 shipbuilding pages can exchange for 10,000 doubloons, and 5 shipbuilding pages exchange for 6,000 doubloons. Now, I really wanted to make my everything's choice because I didn't complete for the previous docket event like Lucio in the tier 10 last year. That this time, however, for this recent for the ongoing docket event, I wanted to claim Michelangelo in person for my tribute on for Lucian. It's all wherever you need. The dockyard will remain in your port until at the start of update 30.1 on February 2024. Okay, so the next one, Bounty Hunt event, will begin on February 1, about 11 p.m. It ends on the 5th of February at 8 a.m. Now, in this update also includes a new iteration of the Bounty Hunt event together with changes that were previously announced in update 12.8 last year. Now, the 4 new achievements: Elusive Bounty, Dangerous Bounty, Hunter Bounty, and Decoy Mission. The ability to remove bounty roll after it's assigned to the player. Conditions for obtaining the Bounty Hunter achievement have been changed. The achievement is now unlocked if the player destroys an enemy bounty ship while the player is not a bounty ship. Markers for allied bounty ships are to be added. Here are the list of achievements we're coming from the World of Warships dev blog so far about a few months ago. The Bounty Hunt event will be available in random battles when taking on the bounty roll. Players will need to helm playing tier 6 to 10 ships in battle, but without aircraft carriers to do so. Both players with bounty roll and regular players will be able to earn star tokens. which they will be able to spend in the Star Emissaries Armory category. The named rewards are bionic permanent camouflages for Des Moines, Buffalo, and Baltimore. Players will also be able to obtain coal, common bonuses containers, and signals. Regular players will be able to obtain star tokens by destroying a bounty ship in battle or earning the decoy mission achievement. Players with bounty role can obtain star tokens by earning elusive bounty, dangerous bounty, and hunter bounty achievements, as well as by completing special combat missions. After the announcement of the bounty hunt event, players will be able to apply on our portal and be among the randomly selected participants. After registration time ends, there will be a selection process which will determine the players which will receive the bounty role. After selection period is over, the bounty event can finally begin. Now, more information about the bounty hunt event activity can be found in a separate article. Okay, the return of Star Emissaries begins in January 25 at 3 a.m. and ends on February 8 at the same time. Besides the previously mentioned bounty hunt event and rewards, more goods can be found in the Star Emissaries Armory category. As part of the event, you can use doubloons to buy random bottles that hold a Tier 9 Star Kitakase, the Tier 8 Star Edinburgh, Commanders, Andromeda, and Triangulum with 10 skill points and individual voiceovers, expendable economic bonuses, and other valuable rewards. Remember, the Star Emissaries made on its debut last year. You know about that because we did for that for wargaming. The main feature of these ships is their permanent camouflages, which dynamically change their appearance in the midst of battle depending on whether the ship is detected. The Star Kitakase and Commander Andromeda with 10 skill points and a unique voiceover, as well as Star Edinburgh with Commander Triangular with 10 skill points and a unique voiceover, will be available via separate Admiral bundles at Premium Shop. These bundles also hold credits, expendable economic bonuses, and signals. They are the comeback for the Star Emissaries took on place last year, as well as the Commanders. Now, the most part of the feature in the update 30.0 is the display ship parameters in battle. We added a feature that enables players to see various ship parameters while in battle. Essentially, players will be able to click on opposing and allied ships in the team window before or during the battle. To get access, press and hold the tab key to access this window. A tooltip will appear providing information on the selected ships such as hit points, armament ranges, movement speed, and possible consumables, among other parameters. This feature also allows players to hover the mouse over attributes such as shells, torpedoes, and consumables in battle, and check the data for those items similar to the functionality in port. It's very important to note that this mechanic will show only the best possible parameters for opposing and allied ships that had not been spotted by your ship. For allied ships that your ship has spotted, actual parameters and chosen consumables will be displayed in the tooltip. As for enemy ships, the reason for showing only the best possible parameters is to not reveal the equipment and actual parameters, which would reveal too much about the overall strategy. As a result, enemy ships may have lower or different specifications than actuality that what's displayed in the tooltip. The best possible parameters include any possible bonuses from commanders, upgrades, signals, and modules. This feature will not include factors such as unique commander talents, weather conditions, dynamic effects, or triggerable skills such as Dazzle, Adrenaline Rush, or Field Explorer. But this was very helpful for this during the match gameplay on the tab where you can see right now in this appearance, but I would likely goes in a positivity way. Okay, so head on to the armory. Now, with the release the update 30.0, the Tier 9 American Hybrid DD Halford will become available in the armory for 228,000 coal. Note, that ship was debuted last year for the 4th of July event. A member of the Fletcher class destroyers. 6 destroyers of Fletcher class was planned to receive an aircraft catapult instead of a stern torpedo launcher and Papa naman, recording naman po yun. According to plans put forward by the leadership of the US Navy, in this configuration, these ships could launch Kingfisher reconnaissance aircraft and formations consisting of only destroyers, without having to rely on cruisers, and aircraft carriers would receive their own eyes. Halford is the first hybrid destroyer in our game, and the ship carries an attack aircraft tactical squadron equipped with the engine cooling consumable. The aircraft are armed with powerful tiny T rockets with high damage and armor penetration characteristics. These aircrafts will be useful ahead coming from Tier 9 battle carrier Kearsarge. Now, Halford's four 127mm main battery guns have a good rate of fire and arcing shell ballistics, and the ship is armed with a quintuple-tube torpedo launcher with long-range torpedoes, similarly like the sister ship Fletcher in the Tet Tree. She also has a great maneuverability. Halford's consumable loadout is represented by the choice between engine boost or defensive AFR in one slot and smoke generator in a separate slot. Basically, they are coming from the American destroyer's Tech 3 line. Two unique upgrades will be available for the Armory, but note, you have to exchange for research points at the cost of 90,200. For top tier airbeam we got the Occupy in the 6th slot. The effects are the following: the -6 main battery reload time plus 12% maximum ship speed while the engine boost consumable is active, and 100% main battery tripper speed. Now for the Dodge Large Cruiser Garden Liu, which is occupied in the 6th slot, the effects are the following parameters. The airstrike ornament changes is additional to 1, and the reduced airstrike cooldown time is about -25%. The 15th season of the ranked battles is about to begin with the release the update 30.0. Duration is from January 11 at 3 AM until March 30 at 8 AM with the release the update 30.2. The Bronze League will be playing tier 6 ships. It will be 7 vs 7 format. Restrictions is no more than 1 aircraft carrier, 1 submarine, 3 battleships, 4 destroyers and 6 cruisers. Silver League will be playing tier 8 ships in the 6 vs 6 format. Restrictions on the following are no aircraft carriers or submarines allowed, and no more than 3 battleships and 4 destroyers. The Gold League is only for playing tier 10 ships in the same format coming from Silver League. This time, the restrictions are going to be same ahead from the Silver League. As always it does in this new ranked battle season, the rules for keeping the star in the event of the loss is the same for all leagues. Only the top base XP earners on the losing team keeps the star. Alright, the Bronson Update 30.0 is coming up ahead starting next week. The first round will be playing tier 7 ships in a 2 vs 2 format. Restrictions is no more than 1 battleship. Divisions are allowed for only 2 players. The second round will be playing tier 10 ships in a 5 vs 5 format. Restrictions no more than 1 submarine, 1 aircraft carrier, 3 battleships and 4 destroyers. Divisions are allowed to be capable of 3 players. Now the third round of the brawls took place playing tier 8 ships in a 4 vs 4 format. Restrictions: no submarines are allowed. No more than 1 aircraft carrier, 2 battleships, 2 destroyers and 3 cruisers. Divisions are allowed to be capable of 4 players. As always it does, the schedule took place it's always on a Monday. It will be immediately ends on next Monday. YouTube membership so far will be rewards for different membership levels in this update 30.0. So I don't want to read it at this time for the moment. Now, the most part of update 30.0 is the HoloLight collaboration. Well, as you know, we're ready for another opportunity for this collaboration.
Uy, bakit ba kasi maingay ka, uy?
I know. Okay, Update 30.0 brings back the heroes of Hollow Knight production. Popular Japanese VTubers are ready to fill the ranks of commanders and battles back-to-back with players who combat the Hollow Knight commanders in individual voiceovers. Players can also obtain Hollow Knight production expendable camouflages and memorable flights during the event. But that's not all. Players can also complete combat missions to choose between Commander Fubuki Shirakami with 6 skill points trained for Hashidate, or Commander Muna Hoshinoba with 6 skill points trained for Chang'an as a final reward. Okay, the next part, content additions and changes. In the update 30.0 will bring back the previously integrated Curable. We saw a lot of interest in this port during our early access event for the recently released Japanese battle cruisers, so we wanted to bring this incredible port back with a few changes made it did ahead last year, but unfortunately I did participate because of my computer issues. The dragons present for the early access event will be removed, together with other small details. Stormy weather as well as the music and ambient sounds will be remain. This port will be available for the next couple of updates, and we will once again evaluate player feedback to decide how this port will look beyond that. Furthermore, the 8 Play Talk flag and Wiki Team patch will also be entered in the game with the release of this update. So here's are the illustrations ahead for those. Finally, we will be introducing content to the game as part of a collaboration with YouTuber and Twitch streamer IGN the Russian Badger. Among the content introduced will be a commemorative flag, a Russian Badger commander with individual voiceover, and a permanent camouflage for New Mexico. Some of the upcoming ships right up to it, some Commonwealth cruisers, and the others like German cruiser Wiesbaden and Spanish battleship Victoria. Meanwhile, other Commonwealth cruisers Delhi and Uganda will be included in one of the later updates. It was on the update 30.1. Future changes, the Battle of Java Sea containers and the Battle of Java Sea premium containers will be added to the game, but some of them are going to be changes in this content, so I would not to read it entirely. Here are the other changes so far in the update 30.0, so I would not to read it entirely. Here on the list. And so that's for my concludes of the update 30.0 patch notes, right up to it with a commentary reaction. So I will look forward to it on tomorrow. So I will start on a new backtrack. So thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell on the notification icon, so I will post my World of Warships contents for ships gameplays and ship gameplays, patch notes, and doing some participating for a public test events. So will be posted on YouTube, Discord, and Facebook, including X, formerly Twitter. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you see you in my next video. Later out, guys, and good luck for the update 30.0 ahead for this year's forward.